as you go deeper into personal mastery, and that's why I wanted to shoot the video here in Nelson Mandela's room. You know, I met someone very close to Nelson Mandela, and they revealed to me Nelson Mandela wasn't Nelson Mandela when he went into prison. And what I mean by that is, that person told me he went into prison a very angry man. But it was the 27 years of deep interior work. It was the 27 years of dedication to personal mastery. It was the 27 years where he learned how to forgive, open his heart, dream a bigger dream, leave the ego and serve the world. Where he read books of philosophy, where he meditated and he prayed, where he wrote, where he learned how to release his limits, where he learned how to awaken what was best within him. I mean, we all have this interior core deep within us, and this is our truest nature. This is the pirate. This is the giant. This is our authentic selves. This is where true power lives. It's deep in our core. You have it. Everyone on the planet has it. The thing is, most of us have been hypnotized by the messaging and programs and the beliefs of our parents, of our teachers, just like that little boy in the story at the beginning, of society and of the media, to think small. A lot of us have therefore become, because of all this programming for years of our lives, we have become card-carrying members of the cult of personality. And I'm here to tell you, no matter where you are in your life, no matter what your past has been, no matter what tragedies or pains you've experienced, today is a new day, and today is the day I invite you and challenge you to start thinking about personal mastery and about owning your talents and about playing a bigger way of operating in the world. And you deserve this, you see, but you have to leave the mob mentality, and you absolutely have to leave the crowd, and you absolutely have to learn the ideas and the models that I teach and the tools that I will offer to you to build that heroic core. And Nelson Mandela did this not for a week, not for a day, because consistency is the mother of mastery. He did it for 27 years. And what happened? Because of that commitment to building an undefeatable interior life, to really owning his true nature, and you have the same nature deep inside. Owning that true power, not fake power like, oh, I have a big car, I'm powerful. Oh, I have a lot of money in my bank account. Oh, I'm powerful. Oh, I have a lofty title, I'm powerful. Those are fake powers. They don't last very long. You lose the title, you lose your power. You lose the money, you lose your status. There is a much deeper power. It's the power that resides within you, within your core. And as you get to know it, I'm going to share the tools on how to get to know it, but as you get to know it, and as you start identifying it, and as you release your addiction to fake powers, okay, what starts to happen is you become this force of nature that becomes unstoppable, and you do world-class work, and you start to honor your talents, and you start to do things that previously frightened you, and you start to influence everyone around you, and you start to become inspirational in the world. And you become incredibly attractive to the world. And then customers and followers and amazing things start to happen to you. It's because of who you are. As you become more powerful through deep interior work, you become more powerful in the world. And that's what happened to Nelson Mandela, to the point where when he was released from prison, okay, he invited his jailers to his inauguration as president of South Africa. And he was asked why, and he said, because if I didn't, I would still be in prison. And so my point to you is simply this: do the work required to own yourself. Now you may be still saying, Robin, why do I have to do this interior work? You know, and I go back to this principle I've been offering to you through this video, which is exterior empires begin with interior empires. Okay, and let's go to the science. You know, we know that grit and relentlessness is so important, according to the scientific research, to do iconic things in the world. If you don't have any persistence, if you give up too early, you're never going to get amazing things done. Well, that is an inside job. Building this ability to believe in your mighty mission and your loftiest goals, so that no matter if people ridicule you and they laugh at you and they put you down, you stay strong. That's an inside job. Okay? If you look at, well, I want to make history. Well, that again begins with your interior story. Heidi Grant Halverson's work on that internal narrative, your Your story about your potential determines whether you go out in the world and live your potential. And if you don't think you're very much, and that, you know, people like Elon Musk or Tesla, Shakespeare, or Kurt Cobain, if you think those people were somehow cut from a different cloth, then you're not going to read the books and do the practice time and put in the work hours and surround yourself with the right peer group required to do iconic things in your craft. So even your thinking and your performance is a result of that interior work. As I mentioned earlier, if you really don't feel deserving of success, then you're not going to go out in the world and create success. Okay? Even something like being innovative. How can you be innovative if you're really concerned about what everyone else thinks of you? I wrote this in the back of my journal earlier this morning, and it's, what I've learned is that the more you care about what others think of you, the less amazing your life will be. And again, that's interior work. Getting to know yourself, trust yourself, believe in yourself. No one will believe in you if you don't believe in you. You know, I heard recently Kanye West has this giant poster in his living room of himself. And someone, a fellow musician, said, Kanye, you've got a poster that is so huge of yourself in your living room. And you know what Kanye said? Well, if I don't believe in myself, no one will believe in me. No one will believe in you until you do the personal mastery work required to believe in you. Because in the summer it was very, very hot, and in the winter it was very, very cold, and it was the dust and the glare in here that damaged the health of so many of the prisoners. And then you see behind me, in 1995, Nelson Mandela came back. There was a reunion of the political prisoners, and he dropped the first stone there, and then the other prisoners dropped it. So this was a place where they tried to destroy the spirits of people like Nelson Mandela. And for whatever reason, through his education and his grit and relentlessness and his interior work on his character and his leadership, he survived it, and he actually grew stronger as a result of what happened. And a lot of it was here in this quarry. So I'm here on Robin Island, and this is the view. I mean, it's Cape Town behind me. You can see it right over there. And as you know, Nelson Mandela spent 18 years on Robin Island. He was confined for a total of 27 years. But it's such a strange thing. I mean, he suffered so much here, and such deprivation, and yet if you look behind me, you see this incredibly vast beauty. I'm here on Robin Island in the courtyard where Nelson Mandela used to walk around. And I just heard there's a tree behind me. You can see it right there, and it was a grape tree that was given to him, or he was given a grape plant, and the guards told him no, nothing will ever grow, and he proved them wrong, and he created this incredible garden which fortified his character and provided some joy for him. But this is where he would also walk around on Robin Island to stay strong. And I have a former political prisoner touring me or showing me around Robin Island, and he just pointed out this very place right here. I want to just show it to you. Right down there, there used to be some trees, and in this area, that's actually where Nelson Mandela hid the manuscript of his autobiography. So I just learned he was actually working on his autobiography here on Robin Island, and he used to hide it here in this garden in that very place. So you can see the former political prisoner just with his foot showed me the area, which is mesmerizing and fascinating to be here on Robin Island and learn about what these brave people did in their fight for freedom. Well, this is really remarkable. I'm here in Nelson Mandela's prison cell. They don't usually give a lot of access to it, and I just want to show you, first of all, you look down there, and that's actually where Nelson Mandela slept. There's no bed in here, and I just want to show you how small this is. I mean, this is just a very, very, very small cell. You can see the actual place where Nelson Mandela would write. I just learned that he used to kneel down here and write. And then behind me, this is the view that he had of his garden, which would give him inspiration. And the fine gentleman who is an ex-political prisoner who's touring me around here said some very interesting things. And he said, for example, Nelson Mandela used to say, leaders must lead. And he repeated that a lot. He also, every time he would meet one of his fellow political prisoners, he would say, are you studying? Are you studying? Are you studying? Which really speaks to the importance, as you lead, as you raise your life, study, focus on developing yourself, learn as much as you can. And the gentleman who's giving me the tour also said, when I said, what was he like? Because this gentleman spent time with Nelson Mandela here. He said he was a humble servant, because to lead is to serve. And so I hope you've enjoyed being here with me on this travel, or this journey I'm taking you on. And I'm ending it here in Nelson Mandela's prison cell. And it really speaks to the absolute imperative of you working on yourself for personal mastery, and you learning how to develop a mindset so that you can endure the good times as well as suffering, and so that you can build a strong heart, so you serve the world, and so you build a strong character, and you master yourself so that in good times and bad times you show leadership, and you bring on your talent into the world, and you are a hero of your work and of your life, and you ultimately use your life to build a better world. You have a hero inside of you, and it's all about getting to know that person and then polishing it. Nelson Mandela was in this prison cell for 18 years. And the first insight I want to offer to you is stay in your own lane. It's really easy to get caught up in what other people are doing. It's really easy to get caught up in measuring your success by other people's definitions of success. And to me, ultimate and true success is running your own race, staying in your own lane, living by your values, doing your dreams. And it takes, again, a lot of personal mastery to be able to say, you know what, let the world live as they want to live. Let society suggest their definition of success, but I'm going to live according to my own definition of success. The second thing to remember is pain. It's like what I shared with you when I was in Nelson Mandela's prison cell. Pain is either something that is going to shut you down and break your heart and cause you to be a victim, or pain is going to be something that you leverage as fuel into greater power. And if you look at the people who've done epic things in the world, whether it's the great entrepreneurs or the great creative people, they have used their difficulties and their sadness and their suffering to make them stronger, wiser, more creative, and better. Next insight I'd offer to you with great love and respect is to get to the next level of your career or your business or your health or your prosperity or your life, you need to get to the next level of you. I've been suggesting throughout this adventure video that really, success is an inside game. And if you want this mindset of undefeatability, and you want this heart set where nothing can stop you, and you want to do epic work, and you want to do your part to impact the world while you do your greatest dreams, it all starts by wiring in the mindsets of undefeatability, looking at your personal philosophy, cleaning out the anger, cleaning out the self-doubt, cleaning out the low esteem in your heart, getting your physical life so you are strong like a professional athlete, and working on your spiritual life so you do find a cause that's bigger than yourself, and you go out there and you're willing to just crush through walls to get your loftiest ambitions done. And then the final insight I would offer to you is your life reflects what you settle for. So you're running your own story wherever you are right now, no matter what you've endured, whatever your personal history is, you're running a story. And that story is ultimately driving your behavior. And your life, whether it's your health, whether it's your relationships, whether it's your career, whether it's your prosperity, whether it's the level of adventure in your life, it's all a reflection of what you've accepted and what you've chosen to settle for.